about playing, managing 11 games, playing those in a row. When you first learned about that you're going to have the schedule, what was your reaction? And what was the reason why you had to play 11 games in a row?
Yeah, I'm not sure of the reason. Like I said on the teleconference, I've been a part of one where we got hot and it worked out, but there's also times where you're kind of banged up and you like that off week. I guess for us the interesting part is, like I said, that Thursday game at the end, we'll still have practice on that weekend, so there's not a free weekend for whatever 3 straight months. But just kind of how it fell this year, and everybody takes their turn with that Thanksgiving game, and just worked out that way.
Which was the one year that you referenced that you said you got hot and it worked out?
2012 at A&M. For some reason, our first game we were supposed to play Louisiana Tech, and it got pushed back to our bye week, and so we just played straight through.
What are your concerns going up to Kansas defense, offense? What do you see?
I know they're well coached, being very familiar with Coach Beatty. I think Coach Bowen did a great job last year as the interim head coach and really had them playing hard. So defensively, they'll be lined up and playing well. So they're trying to build it, playing with a true freshman quarterback. I know what that's like, but they're still a well-coached team that anybody in the Big 12 can beat anybody on any given day. So we have to be prepared and make sure we try and get better this week.
Coach, what was your biggest takeaway from David Beatty, having coached with him, just his coaching style and particularly the recruiter too?
Yeah, tremendous recruiter. I think when we got to Texas A&M, he had a veteran group of wide receivers, and then had Mike Evans, who was a young guy playing his first year, and to watch the way he handled that group. He had Ryan Swope. It was just really impressive, to get Mike Evans to the level he did that quickly and manage those older guys and gain their respect very quickly. I think he's a tremendous football coach, and I know he's trying to build something special out there.
With Kansas winless this year, how do you talk to your players about not taking them too lightly?
Yeah, I think we're talking about starting this second half of our season the right way, and that's been our focus, is getting better each week, and that's what we'll try to do this week. I think you look to last year, and TCU went on the road to Kansas, and Kansas almost got them there, and so it's a great example to point out that it is a good football team that's well coached, and they've had a tough run, but they're getting better, and they have young players, and so we just need to continue to get better ourselves.
Going back to last weekend, just what was kind of your thoughts on Tony Morales and how he kind of did in his first start this year?
Tony Brown?
Well, I guess Tony's second start at right guard.
Oh, at right guard, yeah. It's still a little rusty, but I love the effort he plays with. Both those brothers, they play with incredible effort, and they really push each other. And so for not having played in a game for however long, he's come a long way, and I think he'll continue to get better and continue to develop. But one thing, when you turn on the tape, he's going to play as hard as he can and run as fast as he can every snap.
You think he's got two Tony Brown, and just kind of like he did as well?
Yeah, he did well. I mean, stepping as a true freshman, first start, I thought he handled himself well. On the big touchdown pass, had 2 awesome blocks for Jakeem to kind of spring him there, and made some big catches, had a great catch there at the end that Nick threw him. So he's a guy who's going to keep getting better. Has a ton of tremendous natural ability, and just has to keep honing it.
How encouraging has it been for you seeing those guys come in and buy in and be so physical early on and walking and all that?
It's been great. That's what we've preached for the last couple of years, and starting to see the fruition of it this year with everybody blocking for each other, playing hard for each other, and that's when good things happen.
Can you talk about Samantha a little bit? He can't kick off, but he can punt.
Yeah, that one's new to me as well. So I don't know. You'll have to ask the trainer on that one. But he still seems to be able to punt the ball well. But Clayton stepped in there and did a great job. I think he had 9 to 12 touchbacks, and so really been happy with his progress.
The reality is you're in another week where your team has a somewhat favorable matchup, you would think, coming up this weekend. Does it give you confidence in the way they handled a somewhat similar situation last week?
I hope so. We've harped on that. It's about us and getting better every week. So I think they've taken it to heart. I think they know we have 6 more guaranteed opportunities, and you better make the most of each one.
Have you seen your team improve every week?
With the exception of the Baylor game, and that was an effort. It was just the penalties and those 4 turnovers. You're not going to beat a team like that doing those things. Other than that, I feel like we've gotten better progressively.
What's your assessment of Mahomes' play halfway through the regular season?
He's getting better. He made some tremendous plays on Saturday where he just kind of made it all happen, but he's getting more comfortable in the system. Watching him operate, everything's happening at the line of scrimmage faster. He made some great checks, and so now it's just continue to protect the football, and when things are there throughout the read, get it to him, and if it's not now, go do that stuff that you can do. But he's got a chance to be very, very good if he continues to work hard at it.
Kliff, when he plays, a lot of these games seemingly close to pretty flawlessly, what do you, obviously you can see the flaws, what are the things that you still want him to improve on when you're sitting in there watching film?
Yeah, the biggest thing is just don't go through lapses where you have success doing it all by yourself on one play, and the next play you say, oh, I'm going to do it again. Go through your reads, stay within the structure of the offense, and then if that's not there, then we get to that point. And so we're still walking that fine line, but biggest deal to me is just the ball security. He's really taking care of the ball, still been able to find those throws down the field, but protect it at the same time.
What was your, if you were breaking it down, say in a broadcast booth, what did you think of the play there for the 37-yard touchdown to Jakeem that was from midfield?
Yeah, I mean, on the headset, it was just like, no, 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 yes, was about the dialogue. So it was one of those. Yeah, I mean, just did everything and found those guys. And our receivers and O-line have really learned to play with him in that they continue to go and keep playing and keep blocking and keep trying to get open because it may take a while.
You look at the offensive performance that you guys had Saturday. How do you build upon that this week?
Anytime you watch the tape, there's a lot of yards left out there, a lot of mental mistakes that you can get better at. And so we are still a work in progress offensively, playing all those young wide receivers, and we'll just keep getting better. We got to get better over the last 6 weeks and try and get bowl eligible and go from there.
Do you have an update on Dylan Cantrell or Devin Lauderdale?
Devin will be back this week. Dylan Cantrell will not.
Still a possibility he would redshirt?
Still a possibility.
How is Patrick Mahomes' knee?
It's getting better. He said today it felt better than it has, and so that's encouraging.
Is there a structural issue, a
No,
tear?
no. The term I was given was some sort of sprain.
Since you said Dylan will not be back this week, that would be only a maximum of 5 games that he will play, plus a bowl game. Are you ready to say that he's redshirt?
Pretty close, yeah. I would expect that after this week, that's probably the direction we'll go.
What did you think about the day for your defense? Statistically, there are a lot of numbers, but they get maybe the most important number for them in the turnover column.
Yeah, that's huge. I think prior to that final drive, only holding him to 3 points was really good. That's a senior quarterback. It's a good offense. Coach Mangino does a good job offensively, and so I thought we made good adjustments at halftime, and then to create those turnovers that we were able to score off of obviously kind of jump-started us.
You look at Justin's performance. What does that do to push DeAndre?
He's a very talented back. He one of the fastest players on our team, and anytime he touches it can go the distance. So those guys do a great job of pushing each other and working with each other. And DeAndre's, the proven veteran leader on our offense, and it's really been fun to watch him help Justin. And they have a great relationship, but DeAndre knows that he's got a really good back right behind him.
I saw you getting involved a couple of times defensively as far as, I don't know if you're chatting guys or encouraging guys, whatever it might be, but what's your routine when the defense is on the field as an offensively inclined head coach? What do you kind of go through when your group comes off and then maybe you turn attention back to the field?
Yeah, first you try to give some encouraging words to the defense, and then, Coach Morris and Coach Jinks and Coach Hayes and I are on the headset talking about our next drive and what we're trying to do. Meanwhile, I'm paying attention to the defense and the situation, and so just trying to take it all in while we're prepping for our next drive.
Kliff, after you left the podium on Saturday, we learned that J.J. Gaines, that was his first start ever at safety. Was that safe for that group and for him individually?
Yeah, he's come a long way. We had him at corner, some at nickel, and for him to step in first game, creates some turnovers. He's just a very tough kid. You know, he's been through some surgeries, and just keeps fighting, keeps showing up, keeps making plays. So it's been fun to watch his development.
Time for one more question. Did the defense film that you saw after the game look better than maybe what you thought Saturday?
You know, it's always not as bad as you think or as good as you think, but I think there's some guys growing up, some of those young linebackers, some young guys in the safety, and then Braden Fogo gets better each week. The guy that's really standing out to me is Brandon Jackson, how hard he's playing. He's looks like night and day, the film this year as opposed to last year, just effort, consistently playing and playing.